Hi, how's it going, everybody? I'm Jen and I help women find more time for themselves in order to be better mothers, sisters, friends, partners, whatever it is that we're striving to achieve. I'm also the host of the free Facebook group Strong Women with Jen. This is a group for women to learn to fill their own cup first and not let our crazy busy lives keep us from doing the things that we love and that make us truly happy. Now, I've put the link to the group in the post. If you want to join right away, that'd be great. I also wanted to draw your attention to a free guide that I created. It's called Feel Fantastic in 3 simple steps. I've also included the link to download that in the post attached to this video as well. So I'm going to continue on with my series, which is focusing on living your best life. So it's something that I've been covering over the last couple of months. Occasionally I jump in with a completely different topic, but this is a bit of a series I've been running. So today's topic is about the thing you need to guard with your life. And that is basically your energy. So most women I know are always tired, or more than that, they're completely exhausted. Is that you? I'm pretty sure that you could relate to that. So most women are always tired or in fact completely exhausted. So I wanted to see if you can remember. So can you remember the last time that you felt so full of energy that you were almost bouncing off the walls? I reckon it was probably a pretty long time ago. So if you can relate to wishing that you had more energy and if you can also relate to never feeling like you ever get to completely recharge your batteries, then please comment Energizer Bunny in the comments or something similar, just so that I know that I'm talking to the right sort of topics. Now, I can totally relate to this lack of energy, because I burnt the candle at both ends for so long that I ended up burning out my adrenal glands and ended up with a long-term illness that started with adrenal fatigue and got worse from there, basically. So it's definitely a topic that I can relate to, this lack of energy. And unfortunately, I think it's a common problem with women because we feel overly responsible for other people, whether that be our clients, colleagues, family, kids, partners. We feel overly responsible for them in most cases. And the problem with this is, and it's a topic that I've spoken to quite a lot, is that it comes back to the issue of filling our own cup first. Because if we are operating at less than 100%, then we don't have anything spare or left over for the people that we love or to give to other people. And don't you think that the people that are most important to us deserve the best version of us? So that's why the concept of filling your own cup first is something that I'm so passionate about, and it just keeps popping up throughout this video series that I'm doing. So what can we do instead? If we recognize that we do have an issue with lack of energy, and part of it is because we're always operating at less than 100% because we're always giving so much to the people that we care about in our lives. Well, the good news is there are some easy ways that we can, or easy things that we can do and implement to start to conserve our energy. So I'm going to share a few ideas with you. Now, the first one is going to make me giggle a bit because the first one is talking too much. And this one is a classic for me to work on because those who know me know that I love to talk. And so I've been working on this one quite a lot lately, I've been trying to focus on listening more. And the really exciting thing about this is that if you don't talk so much and you spend more time listening, you end up having much more meaningful conversations with people, and you end up having a true connection with somebody, and that is much less draining on your energy than just spending time in general chit chat where you're not really talking about much, or you just spend your time yabbering so much that you're just wasting your energy. So it can help you have meaningful conversations. And the other plus of listening more is that having those meaningful conversations can actually boost your energy. So it can actually give you an extra boost and help you recharge your batteries by having those more meaningful conversations, which occur by talking less and listening more. The second idea I wanted to share with you, and it's a pretty obvious one, is sleep deprivation. So if you're lacking energy, then another obvious place to look is, are you getting enough sleep? Now, this is the silent killer, as they call it, because sleep deprivation, it can be quite a serious issue, and I think it's one of the common issues in today's society because we're so busy all the time and we fill our lives up with so many things. So the best way to deal with sleep deprivation, or it might not be that extreme, you might just be tired because you're not getting enough sleep or you're not getting a good sleep. So the best way to deal with this is to try to establish a helpful nighttime routine. So some good things to include in a helpful nighttime routine is trying to go to bed at a similar time each night to get your body and your brain into a bit of a routine and a habit. No screen time. Now, this is going to be a hard one for many of us who I believe have an addiction to our mobile phones, whether we want to admit it or not, or whether we realize it or not. But no screen time 2 hours before you go to bed. And this is to do with what they call the blue screen effect. And the blue screen effect causes a melatonin deficit, and it disrupts our circadian rhythms. So if you want to Google more about the blue screen effect, there's a lot of research that's recently been done about it, and some quite scary things are coming out in terms of teenagers and sleep deprivation, and it's all to do with their addiction to their mobile phone. So no screen time 2 hours before your scheduled bedtime. Another helpful thing is just have a cup of chamomile tea or a relaxing tea. And the last tip in terms of getting a good nighttime routine is keep a notebook and pen by your bed. And if you've had one of those days and you find that your mind is kind of racing and you can't get these things out of your head, which is the topic I covered in last week's video, is just write it all down in a notebook. So empty all those annoying thoughts, all those worries that are stopping you from going to sleep, just empty them onto that piece of paper, and sometimes that's enough to help you get to sleep. Now, another idea I wanted to share with you to help conserve your energy is getting rid of unrealistic expectations. So if you have 3 kids under 5 and you work full time, chances are your house is not going to look like a spread in Home Beautiful magazine. Most days anyway. If you've got OCD, maybe it looks like that some days. So the point I'm trying to make is it's not helpful to have that expectation on yourself. So be realistic about what we can achieve and what we can expect of ourselves, and that can be a way to conserve energy as well. And the important thing is, if you notice any unrealistic expectations that you have of yourself, then it's time to change them. Because if you don't change them, then you're continually going to be operating with less energy. The last idea I wanted to share with you is, are you giving away your energy? So it might be due to gossiping, because holding on to secrets, or I can't remember who I'm allowed to tell that to, that can take a lot of energy, and spending time with negative people as well. So essentially what's happening, I'll focus more on spending time with negative people because they tend to be gossips as well. So gossip is, I suppose, a different category of negative people. Basically what's going on from an energy level is you're handing your energy over to that negative person. So essentially you're just giving it all away, and then there's nothing left for you. So if you notice that you are surrounded by some negative people, then it might be time to perhaps take some steps to either eliminate the time that you actually spend with them, or if that's not possible because perhaps family fall into that category, then just minimize the damage by trying to minimize the amount of time you actually spend with them. So they're the 4 tips that I wanted to share with you in terms of how to better conserve your energy. So just to recap, number 1 is talk less and listen more. Have more meaningful conversations and interactions with people. Number 2 is establish a really helpful nighttime sleeping routine. Number 3 is examine the expectations that you have on yourself, and are they realistic? If they're not, then try and develop some realistic expectations. And lastly, be aware that you may be giving your energy away to negative people. So I have a challenge for you, as I always do at the end of these videos. So if this is something that you think is a factor in your life, then I'm going to challenge you to observe for the next week and try and take note of things that drain your energy. Make notes about what you observe in your journal and commit to changing some of the main culprits. So if you notice that some nights you're not getting to sleep till almost midnight and you have to get up at 6 a.m. the next day, and that seems to happen a couple of times, then obviously establishing a good sleep routine would be one of the first things to work on. So notice some patterns and then commit to changing some things where you notice the issues are. And once you commit to change, then actually put a plan into place, and I suggest you write that plan in your journal as well. And as I said, it could be, it doesn't have to be complicated, these changes. It could be as simple as, for the next week, I commit to going to bed at 10 o'clock or before 10 o'clock every night, and not looking at my mobile or my tablet after 8 p.m. each night. Could be as simple as that. And you could even treat it as an experiment. Like if the thought of that makes you go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do it, then treat it as an experiment. Look at it as, this is a social experiment I'm going to do on myself. So that's pretty much it for this evening. So if you want some motivation and support in terms of doing that challenge over the coming week, then jump into the Strong Women Facebook group, and please share your experiences in the group as well. I'd love to hear what you noticed when you're attempting these challenges. And last of all, don't forget to download your free copy of Feel Fantastic in 3 Simple Steps, and I will see you in the group, or next week, same time, same place.